Hello, hello. Welcome to a brand new episode of How'd We Get Here? And yeah, there's no theme song. There's no intro tonight, man. And I get that it's April 1st, you know what I mean? 2024. It's April Fool's Day, but like this is not going to be a fun video. This is not a joke video. This is about as serious as it gets. I think anybody in the comic industry and fandom knows what we're going to be talking about tonight, and it's a very touching subject for both me and Joe. It's very serious to us, and it's just something we kind of wanted to address a little bit because if you follow the channel, you might notice I took down Saturday's episode. That's because I felt it was a little disrespectful. I mean, I, I'm getting ahead of myself here. I'm going to go ahead and lay out the issue. Like I'm a little flustered because of the situation, but um, today, April 1st, 2024, Ed Piskor, comic creator of Red Room, host of Comics Kayfabe, unalived himself tragically amidst the accusations and justful accusations, according to what I've seen against him. I want to make this perfectly clear. We are still 100% with the accuser. We believe her account. So we're just at the same time are very very saddened by this event. And on Saturday's episode, in a broader topics context, we were speaking about like the lights out Nickelodeon situation and things like that. And Ed got brought up a little bit, and let's just say we were a little less than eloquent on that episode. So in respect, I just felt like I just felt that I needed to take it down. It might come back up, you know what I mean, after respect is paid and everything. But I just didn't feel comfortable with having it up, just in case my words got misconstrued or anybody on the episodes did. Like we feel really deeply about this subject. It's very very close to us because it just is a reoccurring phenomenon. It just keeps happening and happening. But at nothing has been as drastic as what has happened here. And Joe and I feel that there's kind of a force that kind of takes over people when these things come out, and there's a tendency to dogpile that I always find is unhealthy. I mean, even with some of the worst accusations, I think the need to try to outdo each other's anger over the situation is a little unneeded in a lot of instances. I believe what Ed did is really gross and very not right in any kind of capacity. But I still think that it was something he could apologize his way out of if he was very wordy about it. You know what I mean? It was something he could come back from. I honestly believe that his career
Mhm.
could have recovered from it. Right,
Yeah.
Joe?
Yes. I mean, obviously, he maybe wrote some things in the DMs within the context given that was problematic. I didn't read it all with the full context, so I couldn't. But within the context that was shown, it was somewhat problematic. I mean, yes, you can argue from a law standpoint, criminally, there was nothing there because the age of consent is 16 and all that, but we're not going to get into the finer details. I mean, it depends where you stand on those things, right? But for us personally, it was slightly problematic. But like you said, it wasn't something that was completely unforgivable or something that you can't learn from. And we think that people coming in and adding their 2 cents onto a highly volatile situation does not help come to any kind of uh, resolve that could lead to anything positive, right? Just dogpiling negativity on top of negativity, and people celebrating the downfall of a creator that I'm a Ed Piskor fan, and to celebrate the downfall of a person, I think is incredibly unhealthy. Uh, and I think we need to learn how to use social media better in this regard. Uh, and it's sad. It angers me. Uh, so I, I mean, and I would like to say, like, Johnny feels the same way, that anyone that tries to put any blame on the accuser, this isn't about that. It's about someone taking their life and the steps that could have been taken to avoid to this outcome. And a lot of it has to do with just the breaking out the torches and pitchforks and just going after people just for the love of watching something burn down. I mean, it's incredibly unhealthy and doesn't help anything move forward in a positive light, or does it help anyone learn from their mistakes? Like, do we live in a society now where people aren't allowed or are not offered the opportunity to learn from mistakes? And like, I don't know, it's troubling, it's saddening, it angers me.
Yeah,
And you
what
know
what he showed was disturbing behavior, and yeah, it needed to be nipped in the bud before it got dangerous. But I like it's alarming, but at the same time, like what I agree with Joe. The accusation was damning enough. It spoke for itself. It really
mhm.
didn't need anybody else's 2 cents on it. I'm not here to argue with that one bit. What I am here to argue for is maybe a touch of empathy, just a little
Yes.
bit. He he was a flawed person, but he was a person. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And anybody that felt that they needed to take things this drastically, you know what I mean, just to get away from it a little bit. You know what I mean? It's just
Yeah. Mhm.
uh,
Yeah. And obviously, our thoughts go out to the Piscor family and
to Jim
all of Jim Rugg, all of Ed's friends that are. So our thoughts go out to all these people that are uh,
and,
mourning the loss of a great comic creator. Let's not mince words. I mean, I can separate the person from their work, and Ed's work was great. I can't say anything bad about his work, and I mean, what do you want to say? It's tragic. It's a tragedy. Anytime someone loses a life, it's tragic and sad. And if you're celebrating this right now, I'm going to say, if you're celebrating the fact that Ed Piscor is gone, you're a piece of shit. I'm going to say that right now. If you're on social media celebrating the fact that someone has lost their life, uh, you're a fucking piece of shit. I'm going to say it right now, right here. Fuck you. You should be banned from fucking social media. You should never be allowed back on, because it's people like you that create all this fucking bullshit and create mental health issues with people, is people fucking doing shit like this on social media. So you know what? I don't know. It's enraging. It's frustrating.
our hearts and minds also go out to the accuser. I have no idea how she could possibly be feeling today, but I'm guessing probably not good. And
Hmm.
wherever her mind and feelings are at, you know what I mean. I
Hmm.
hope that she realizes that she is not to blame in any way.
No.
Not really, not at all. You know what I mean. So, like, I want to make that abundantly clear too. Like yeah, we're gonna miss Ed. You know what I mean? Like we were just barely getting mad at him, and we haven't, and we got to say goodbye. You know what I mean? And as a fan, and I watched kayfabe. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm sure a lot of the people that involved in this scenario, like were fans of kayfabe at one point, and so that's kind of like the stabbing thing is like, um, oh man, it's just terrible that an artist like Ed is going to just get remembered for this. You know what I mean? But and I think that should be enough. You know what I mean? Let it lie. No matter what your opinion of the man was, you know what I mean? Like it's never gonna. You can't make it worse than it is right now. So just stop
Yeah.
trying and just let him be at peace and let the situation be at peace, because that's the only resolve here, in my opinion. And
Yeah.
for your karma, because as weird as I am and as like atheistic as I am, I fully believe in karma, man, because it gets me constantly. So and you don't want something like that on yours. It's
Hmm.
just for me personally speaking.
And there are other issues that I won't get into, like I discussed with Johnny before we went live, but we'll talk about the harms of social media and the way people use it. But we'll touch on that on another
Yeah,
episode.
I mean, it just kind of breaks down to like use your words, people. I mean, not everybody's your enemy, too. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
A lot of times, man, it's like I see people that are supposedly supposed to be on the same side of like the hashtag wars or whatever have you, the culture wars,
Mhm.
and like they'll go at each other's throats over like and it's like, does it need to go that way constantly? Does everybody have to be an enemy just for a different opinion? And like,
Mhm.
and this is a full spectrum thing. I'm not blaming a single side, a single party, or a single fandom for this. It is online in general. No matter
Just yeah.
like I've had people that were my friends flip out on me because I like the Resident Alien TV show and they didn't. You know what I mean? So
Mhm.
like, Lord knows, like,
Let's have discussions and not discourse. Is you know I don't know. It's tiresome. It lacks maturity. It's like, what are we all, a bunch of fucking high school kids fighting? Let's show that we're adults and act like adults and be courteous and polite to one another. We don't always have to agree, but we can at least treat each other with decency, regardless of the topic or the scenario, or you know what I mean. I think the world lacks a little decency.
yeah. Um, I completely agree, and I'm not sure how we could get there. I'm not even trying to say that I got answers here. I'm just saying that, and it's kind of really easy to not, leave an opinion. Sometimes, you know what I mean, and sometimes you don't have to say something about everything. And I
And
think,
look,
and I've had a couple of friends come to that realization. We were talking about a fella off air that we know that like learned the hard way that like sometimes, dude, you don't need to say something. You
yeah,
can leave your voice out of this one.
like, and we have a private chat that we discuss these amongst closer friends, and we don't all share the same views. Yet, you know, we respect each other's opinions, and like, I think that's the healthier way to go about it, right? So, anyway, hmm, anyway, I don't know. It's sad. I went through a whole range of emotions today. It's tragic. It's sad. I got angry. I got angry at social media, just people in general. And sometimes, you know, sometimes I think the pandemic should have wiped us all out. Probably would have been better off.
Honestly, like I'm not actually advocating anybody actually search this out and read it, but if you're having a little trouble with the empathy department, there's a note that Ed left behind, and it's gut wrenching. Maybe check that out. um I don't think an apology gets any more sincere than what he put in that piece of paper before he
Mhm.
said bye. And
I
yeah,
mean,
much like the accusations, that note speaks for itself. And but yeah, don't, if you're sensitive, kind of like I am, don't search it out maybe, but like just know that it's there and it's available. I'm not
oh,
gonna show it on screen,
well, if it's on his
but
Facebook, he left a note this morning on his Facebook, and that's how the news came about. And then later on, it was confirmed by his sister on social media uh, of what happened. Mm, yeah, yeah. So I don't have much else to say, Johnny. I don't know if you do.
no, I kind of only meant this to be like a shorter thing where we kind of made like
Mhm.
a statement on it, because I feel that like because we spoke on it on Saturday and a bit, that like we should at least like practice what we preach and use our words and show how we actually stand on this situation,
Mhm.
stand on business as the youth say, and and tell you guys that like this is officially how we feel about the subject. You know what I mean? Um,
Mhm.
we agree with the accuser, but rest in peace, Ed Piskor. And that's simple enough, is it not?
Yes, he will be missed.
And yeah, that's it. We'll see you guys Saturday. We have a show planned, and yeah. Um, till then, try to be nice to each other.